In our last video, we went through the transition between slanting flight, stepping forward into raised hands. A small movement, but very important to connect different parts. Once again, then we have a repetition. We go from raised hands, we do our shoulder push, white crane spreads its wings, rollbacks, and we end up with brush knee and push with our weight forward. From this point, the movement, once again, needle to the C bottom, weight is forward, so we bring the right foot forward a little bit. It's going to be out at 45 degrees. We're going to shift our weight back. Hand goes down, pull in. We're drawing our hand in. It's open. Tiger's mouth is open. Pulling. The idea is like pulling somebody's wrist, pulling in, and drawing in our foot at the same time. So if you watch this again, so from brush knee, and push, weights forward, that allows me to bring my right foot forward, pull, draw back and rise. Draw this foot in a little bit, and then we're going to sink. When we sink our tailbone down. So sink, 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 continue sinking, and touch our C bottom, touch the ground. Left hand is out. When we rise at the same speed. Okay, we go down slow, we come up slow. Now, I've observed other Yang style long forms, and they don't do that. They sink more like this. Okay, probably not doing it exactly like they do, but you get the idea. So this one, once again, is to sink deeply. If you can't do this, if hips bother you, knees, ankles, then sink just a little bit. It's okay. Better to have quality than quantity. If you can't sink slowly and come up slowly, I'd much rather that when you sink a little bit and be very conscious of your movements rather than trying to force yourself. We want to stay relaxed. We want to keep even breathing. And that's another key with Tai Chi movements, is that you should have even breathing throughout. So if you're coming down, coming up and huffing and puffing, we don't want that. We want you to sink and be comfortable, rise and be comfortable. So once again, so from the brush knee, push weights forward, bring your right foot forward, draw the foot in, and sink, and sink. Touching with your hand, fingers out a little bit. And then we're going to get into the next movement, which is called spread arms like fan. So spread arms like fan, when we come up, we're going to move our hands out like so, extending them as we rise. So the application of this, or one application I should say, is somebody pushes, you draw their hands in, and you sink, you pull them down. In actual self-defense, you would not try to pull them down. That would be ridiculous to do that. You're going to draw them in though. The reaction of somebody normally to being pulled is to pull back. So when you pull them in, they want to pull back, and when they pull back, then you're holding their wrist, you're going to come under and push against their rib cage, and we have this movement, spread arms like fan. So this is what it looks like. So I do my roll back, my brush knee. Once again, this is a repeat. Push, weights forward, draw the foot up, draw the left foot in, sink, needle to the C bottom. And then rise. As we rise, the right hand comes up, left hand starts to extend a little bit. I'm going to put a little bit of weight on my left foot, turn my right foot forward to the north, if we're facing north, sink on the right leg. Then I'm going to step towards the west and rise and push, extending my arm. I end up with my weight onto my left leg, right foot is going to be facing a little bit towards the diagonal, either north or a little bit to the diagonal. Our direction, our waist is going to be to the diagonal, and we're looking towards the west. So once again, the idea is you're holding somebody's wrist, you're pushing against their rib cage, and pushing them. Again, so from the roll back, brush knee, push, draw the foot in, and sink. Rise, Put some weight on the left, turn the right foot, sink on the right leg. Step out, rise and push. Spread arms like fan. The right hand is going to be up by your forehead. Left hand is going to be out. It's not stiff. Arms slightly bent. Tiger's mouth is open on both hands, fingers slightly spread apart. And weight is on the left leg. So that's our movement, spread arms like fan. So once again, I'm going to review this with you. We're going to start with the brush knee and push. I'll face this direction so you can follow. So roll back, rise, sink and turn, brush knee. And push. Weight is forward. Draw your right foot forward. Rise, draw your left foot back. And then sink on the right leg. Once again, sink to where you're comfortable. Rise. Rising on the right leg, put some weight on the left. Turn your right foot towards the north. Sink on the right leg. Center yourself. Step out heel first. Rise and sink onto the left leg. Spread arms like fan. Okay, so that wraps up this video on spread arms like fan, needle to the C bottom, and spread arms like fan. As usual, if you want classes in Tai Chi, go to readingtaiji.com. If you like our video, press like, share it with your friends.